Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Control. We have cleansed the babysitter. We got the power to superhero objects last time. And we're desperately seeking some action with a fridge. And Dylan. Dylan is also important in all of this. But what'd that fridge do, though? What'd that fridge do? We're gonna find out. First, gotta finish off my brother's keeper, which is mission number 6? 5 or 6. Oh, we gotta get this shot in before that sniper fires. And we're heading towards the last leg of it, where we will hopefully be reunited with our long-lost brother. And hey, there's that swan boat. To recap, Dylan was taken in by the Bureau after the Altered World event that took place in Jesse and Dylan's hometown of Ordinary. And that Altered World event involved a slide projector. Dylan was taken in for their Prime Candidate program, which is a program designed to choose the next director of the FBC.
Close.
And he was candidate number 6, P6. So now we finally get into the containment cell they've been keeping him in.
Hello? Can you hear me? Jesse. Are you there, Jesse?
Emily? He's gone. Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way. We need to get back. I have to see my brother.
Well, just being able to communicate clearly, and the fact that he gave himself up willingly, does seem to lend credence to Emily's assertion that Dylan seems different from the others who have been affected by the hiss. Besides, Jessie herself is proof that there may be something to what Dylan is saying. This is foreboding, though. I would say that's a tad bit ominous. I mean, we know Jessie herself has not been affected the same way as the rest of the unprotected Bureau members by the hiss. She's done fine without an HRA, which is not something that we can say for just about everybody else we've encountered. Hell, even some of them who had HRAs had their HRAs damaged and succumbed almost immediately. Wait, is the past tense of succumb succumb? That sounds more right than succumbed. Wonder if it's a situation where both of them are right. Or where one just doesn't sound right, but it somehow is, like hanged. We'll learn about that eventually, but first, we're not on my brother's keeper anymore. We're on the face of the enemy, which means we can go check in on our buddy who's on fridge duty. I'm very interested in catching up with my long lost brother, who is the discovery of which is my driving purpose. But that fridge, though.
Hey, what can I do?
Oh, you're back. Oh, thank you, thank you. If I look away, I don't know what this thing will do. You have to get me out of here. The door can only be opened by the Panopticon supervisor. That's Langston, if he's still around.
Langston. Yeah, I know him. I'll go ask him how to get you out.
Please hurry. My eyes! They can't!
Hey, calm down. Just focus. What's your name?
Focus. Right. My name's Phillip, and I think I can hold on for a bit. It's just my eyes. My eyes hurt so much.
Just hang on, Phillip.
Emily. I'm trying to cleanse the hiss. But the fridge is dummy thick. And the clap of its door keeps alerting my mind.
There's someone named Phillip up in a cell. He's watching a refrigerator and very rapidly losing it.
Phillip? Oh shit, I forgot about fridge duty. He's been in there for over a day, I totally forgot.
You forgot about him?
There's a lot going on. The hiss, the Benikoff TV. Considering the number of things I'm juggling, ma'am, I think it's...
Listen, it's fine. We just need to get him out of there. He said you'd be able to open the cell door?
Yeah, I can unlock it on my terminal. There. Done. Door open. But Phillip can't just leave. The fridge is behaving erratically. Ocular contact is the only thing that seems to placate it. If we don't have someone in there watching it 24/7, people will die.
I'll figure something out. I'm pretty good with these things.
Being pretty good with altered items isn't standard bureau procedure, ma'am.
He doesn't know us very well. I'll see you later, Langston.
Like always.
Let's get back to Phillip and relieve him of fridge duty. At long last. I'm so happy for Phillip, who is a good-natured family man, who is vigilant and dutiful, and never ever turns his back on his job because he literally physically cannot. Phillip is a hardworking man, and so it's nice we're going to be able to help him out.
Hello? Jesse?
I'm back. I'm coming in.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jesse. The fridge is doing something.
Phillip? Phillip?
He's probably fine.
If I look away, it hurts me.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that sure is a problem. Maybe if we go inside, we'll find Phillip.
This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it. Fuck?
Oh, hi. Didn't see you come in there. This is the former. The former what? Redacted. But you can probably draw some conclusions. Also, this lives inside the fridge. Oh my god, I totally forgot you can telekinesis its black orb projectiles that normally explode in proximity to you and track you a little bit. And now we got this shit. God, this really reminds me of A Monster Out of the Void, which is one of my favorite games ever. The Void, also known as Tension by Ice Pick Lodge, makers of Pathologic and Knock Knock. So what makes Former a little bit dangerous, actually, is not even the damage he can do directly swiping at you with those limbs, or the projectiles or any of that. It's the fact that when he strikes the ground, he destroys part of it. And it's very easy to walk into a pit while you're trying to angle the camera upwards. Like that area that he just touched is now cursed. Because if I walk back there, I'll probably fall into the pit. That charge shot's actually not doing nearly as much as I had hoped. There's still just one projectile off. Doing this upright.
Wait, there's no Black Pyramid here.
So yes, this is very much like the astral plane we know.
The fridge seems fixed. Did fighting that thing off change something?
And yet, very distinct. Oh no! We buried Phillip under rocks, it's fine. Let's see what Langston has to say about that, because that actually works off of our previous understanding of objects of power, of the astral plane, of the board, and of altered items.
How'd it go? Where's Phillip?
Phillip's gone. Something happened before I could get him out.
Poor Phillip. He never did like fridge duty. But if you're here, then who's watching the fridge?
The fridge is fine now. I took care of it.
You don't just take care of altered items. What did you do?
I touched it and wound up in the astral plane. This thing was in there. It was huge, had one big eye. Wasn't friendly.
We've been getting reports from the astronauts lately about something fitting that description. The astral plane is usually connected to our world through objects of power, not altered items. If this thing is linking itself to altered items, then it's clearly powerful. This may happen again.
Do you think that thing is what got Phillip?
Must have been. The Panopticon is a dangerous place. The agents all know the risks. But, since you're some sort of altered item whisperer, I've got a list of others for you to corral. The Hiss are causing containment breaches left, right, and center. Here, start with these. I'll see if there are any others missing while you're gone. My life just got a whole lot easier.
Maybe eventually we'll learn more about Former.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here.
And in the meantime, Langston has a lot of strays, and I'll figure out which ones I want to show. Maybe all of them, but we were in the middle of plot. So in the meantime, I think I just used that phrase twice in a row. You know who else can attach themselves and claim the power of altered items? Jesse. And the board, for that matter. So remember, Langston helped us understand the distinction between objects of power and altered items. Altered items are objects representing an archetype and touched by the supernatural during an altered world event. So the anchor, the swan boat, the rubber duck, and many others are examples of altered items. Objects of power are a class of altered item typically characterized by a connection to the astral plane and the ability for unique individuals like Jesse to bind these objects and use them. So finding individuals who can do that was kind of one of the points of the Prime Candidate program with which Dylan became a part of. What the side quest establishes, though, is the FBC's understanding of that is incomplete. One, there was a very different astral plane than we've seen. We didn't see the board or its black pyramid, and we saw something wholly unlike the board called Former, implying it was a former board member. We also saw the former exerting influence over a fridge that was not considered an object of power, which Langston acknowledges is abnormal. Yet we couldn't just bind the fridge and use it like the floppy disk, or the hotline, or the merry-go-round, or even the service weapon. We couldn't treat it like the objects of power that we have previously encountered. and we will fully touch on that a little bit more next time. For now, we do want to actually get to the point where we can talk to, or at least meet, Dylan. First, we are going to have to go and speak with Emily. There are a few things to do here first. Oh, this is for a small piece of DLC, not one of the expansions, which we'll get to at the end of the LP.
Any idea what it does?
Ah, that is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
Well, the Bureau has been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. Well, no one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation for maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought them back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in the token and enjoy the ride.
It's kind of a cool way to contextualize having an object that will just teleport you to
You're not the only
a self-contained DLC zone.
Oh my god, she had to write everything.
The resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the hiss signal I can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late? How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother. Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been a near you. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunderstorm distorts you. You are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunderstorm distorts you.
That's Dylan.
White pearls,
Can
but
you
yellow
hear
and
me?
red in the eye.
Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you.
Into the way. You've always been a near you. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be true.
that? Please. Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no! You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit! Shit! He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In Ordinary. In the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
In your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into. Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself. I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes with white pearls.
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here. Dylan. Can we talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start. Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure. What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness.
Maybe Dylan's still in there. Maybe there's a way to reach him. I'd like to talk to my brother, please. Dylan?
Dylan would like to tell you about a dream he had just now.
This again?
I was going to be the new director of this place. I helped you get a job here so that we could be together. You were an office assistant. You'd make coffee and deliver the mail, and there was always plenty of work to do. And it stayed that way, forever and ever. It was nice. Really nice.
That's debatable.
But here's the strange thing. The dream shifted, and none of it was real anymore. It was a game. We were in a game, and it was a fucking boring game. But you couldn't stop playing. And then it shifted again. Or maybe it was another dream already. Or maybe I'm just confusing them. But in this other dream, it was more like a musical. This is an ordinary song about an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. It's the ordinary story. She worked an ordinary job in an ordinary office. Something. And that's all I can remember of that dream.
Maybe that's for the best.
You are warm through time. The thunders.
Maybe I can learn more about the hiss from him. Can we talk?
I just had an interesting dream.
Shit. That's fascinating, but let's talk about the hiss for a change, yeah?
This dream was about the hiss.
Best I'm gonna get.
In my dream, the hiss had broken free of this prison, this house. I'd set it free. And the president himself was there to welcome us. He was the first one to take the hiss in. Spread the word. At first, many people thought it was horrifying. That he was horrifying. But also, many people who heard his words wanted to welcome the hiss in. And slowly, more and more of them came around until the whole world was brought together by the hiss. It was wonderful.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. For the record, that will never happen. Not as long as I'm alive.
The thunderstorm distorts you.
Maybe I'm just here to punish myself. Any new dreams you'd like to share, Dylan?
I'm glad you asked, sister. This dream, like all dreams now, felt very real. Like reality. And reality now feels like a dream. Maybe it's all a dream. Maybe it's all real.
Dream where my brother endlessly tells me about his dreams.
I was in a dark place, and there was a dark man there. His name was Mr. Door, and he told me that there are many worlds, side by side, on top of each other, some inside of others. In one world, there was a writer who wrote a story about a cop. In another world, the cop was real. Door said he himself was in all of them at the same time, endlessly shifting between them. I asked him how I could reach these worlds. I wanted to bring the hiss there, but he didn't want to help me. He didn't like the idea. What did he know?
I'm not wild about the idea myself.
Through time, the thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes.
Here we go again. Once more with feeling. Let me guess. You want to tell me about your dream?
Yes. Yes. In fact, I'm having a dream right now.
Oh. That's new.
In this dream, I'm standing in the corner watching Jesse and Dylan talk about this very dream. This very dream! He said just now! And repeated it again now! I'm standing there and watching, and that's all I can do. It's as if I'm trapped there. And that's all I have to say about that dream.
Okay, Dylan. That's good. Is he still in there? Or is this the hiss playing mind games? I don't know.
We'll get back on the main track next time. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.